I just saw a reel, which tells you I was on a different platform, talking about, again, weight loss and sustained calorie deficit. And I just want to talk about that for a moment because it's still diet culture. Most fitness influencers are going to tell you, even nutritionists are going to tell you, that the thing that you have to focus on is a sustained calorie deficit for at least 2 weeks before you start to see weight loss. Yeah, for a lot of people that's true. However, if you are somebody who has been following that mindset and you are not getting enough nutrition, and you're getting enough to survive but not to sustain your lifestyle, you will also not lose weight. I'm going to tell you a little story, just so that you can understand what I'm talking about, because I've done this now twice. Back in 2007, I was training for, that's a lie. Back in 2005, I was training for my first half Ironman. And during that training, I actually gained weight throughout the whole thing, or stayed really within 3 to 5 pounds of my starting weight. And I, after every workout, was exhausted. And yes, I hit some of my big goals, but I didn't hit any of the ones that really mattered to me. And when I went back and I looked at my training plan, the training plan was solid. And when I went back and I looked at the nutrition plan was also solid. But it left me tired, it left me weak, and it left me feeling not good about my body. My body fat was higher than I thought it should be for where I wanted to be performing. And some endurance athletes don't mind carrying their body fat a little bit higher, but for the amount of work I was doing, this was not okay. Fast forward to 2007, I'm still doing half iron distance triathlons, but I take over my nutrition. And one of the things that I focus on is getting enough protein. It's the main thing I focus on. And I changed what I was eating in terms of carbohydrates to where I wasn't eating junk carbohydrates. I wasn't eating the, I don't even remember what they're called anymore. They're a bar. They have a lot of grains in them. Anyway, you'll see a lot of people doing that kind of thing where they're eating those nutrition bars. And I switched to fairly simple nutrition things, literally whole foods. But I also increased my calorie intake. I went from 2005, 2006, I was taking in around 2,500 calories a day. And either staying the same or gaining a few pounds, and gaining a lot of body fat for spending 6 days a week in the gym, lifting, not just on top of the fact that I was swimming, running, biking. I was spending a lot of time in the gym lifting. So 2007, I was I'm going to flip the script, do something different with my nutrition. I brought my calorie intake from 2,500 to 3,000 calories a day, all the way up to 6,000 calories a day. All the way up. I lost 30 pounds. So I slightly more than doubled my calorie intake and lost weight. I can tell you for sure that metabolically I was in a calorie deficit, but I was in a calorie deficit at 2,500 calories, but I wasn't eating enough of what I needed to repair the breakdown that I was doing. So fast forward to a year ago, and I have a 42-year-old perimenopausal female in my office who's getting ready to do a bodybuilding competition, and she's frustrated because she's gaining body fat, she's not gaining muscle, and she is working her butt off in the gym. She's doing an hour of cardio in the morning, followed by 2 hours of weights, followed by an hour of cardio in the evening before she goes to bed. And I just had her write down. I didn't have her track in an app or anything like that. I said, for the next 2 weeks, I just want you to write down everything that goes in your mouth. Whether that's water or your like pre-workout, post-workout, like just write it all down on a sheet of paper. At the end of each week, take a picture of that piece of paper and just email it to me or text it to me. She sends it to me. I do her calorie count and go, I know what the problem is. You're not eating enough. This woman is 5'2", so she's fairly short. But the amount of work that she was putting in, the amount of destruction she was doing to muscle tissue, to joints, etc., she wasn't getting enough. We took her calorie count up to 4,200. 6 weeks later, she walked on stage and took second place. 25 pounds lighter. If you have been in a nutrient deficit for too long, you're not going to lose weight. Your body is going to hold on to every single calorie because it needs the vitamins and the minerals. It needs the amino acids, and it needs the other fats and things that you're giving it, and it's scared to let them go because it's afraid that you're going to starve it to death. Some of the reasons that you won't lose weight. You're too toxic. Your whole system is too toxic. And don't tell me that's the liver's job. There are plenty of people who have genetics that don't allow their liver to appropriately detox. So get the liver cleaned up. You're not having a bowel movement every day. That's also a sign that you're a little toxic, by the way. You have been eating somewhere between 1,200 and 1,500 calories and never given your body an opportunity to recover. Or less, especially if you've been eating less. You're probably stuck and not losing weight. You have been working way too hard and not giving your body any recovery time. You're not sleeping. That's a big one. And also not taking in enough calories during the day that are appropriate for like repair work will make it so that you can't sleep. Maybe you're drinking too much and you're trying to stop that withdrawal process. Your body will protest sleep. It's also a sign that you're overtoxic though. You're too reliant on caffeine to get through the day. You need more than 8 ounces of coffee or an energy drink throughout the day. And why you're drinking energy drinks still, I don't know. You aren't getting enough protein. You aren't absorbing your food because your GI system isn't working the way it's intended. These are all reasons why you might not lose weight. It's not just eat less and exercise more. And in fact, if you do that, you might see a change for like a week. And then you're just going to go back to that same plateau, if not start putting on weight again and be unhappy with where you're at. There is a functional calorie deficit, and then there is a nutritional deficit. And then there is giving your body what it needs to heal and repair and get you through so that it can function optimally. And when it's functioning optimally, weight loss stops being a challenge. If you're a female who's been taking in around 1,200 calories a day or less and you're still not losing weight, or a male who's been taking in 1,500 calories a day and not losing weight, use that learn more button.